The page builder. So we use the page builder to create all the content inside of our pages, marketing funnels, lives, all inside the Zenler platform. So learn how to use the page builder and you can use it in multiple places within your Zenler site. Once you log into your admin dashboard and go to any of the pages or the course pages or live pages or marketing funnels, as soon as you click the edit, you'll have access to the page builder. Let's have a look at it now. So in this example, we're going to choose the site pages, and then we can click any of the pages and go in and edit them with the page builder. Let's click edit. In this example, we've used the default home page. Because these pages are already set up for us, they already have content within them. However, we can remove and edit all of that content in the page, or we could go back and create a brand new page and add our own content to it. Let's go through all of the main aspects of the page builder dashboard. So let's move across to the first item, which is blocks. Zenler has pre-built blocks already built into the system. So if you go to blocks along here, you'll notice that you can close these blocks up and choose the block type. So we have titles, testimonials, teams, subscribe, slideshows, sign up, process, pricing, navigation, header, gallery, footer, features, divider. We also have FAQs, content, contact, call to action, webinars, live classes, live calendar, courses, empty blocks, and all blocks. So by choosing any of these, if we open up this, it's going to give us a preview of what those blocks look like. You can choose these blocks and use them. So if I choose one of these blocks, for instance, and drag it across, I can drag it straight into the system. Now please note that Zenler is a fully drag and drop system. So you can see exactly what you're getting when you compose your blocks. You'll also notice that it doesn't look exactly the same as the blocks from here. But that is because you have branding on by default in the system. To get this to look exactly the same as the block that you dragged across, you just need to click in settings and turn off apply branding. Now for more on branding, check out the support doc on branding itself for more details. So you'll see inside here there are many different types of blocks, and if we go to something like headers, menu areas, some of these blocks you're going to see says dynamic. This means that the blocks, if they're put into other pages and you use the same block, they will update on other pages. Please look at the dynamic support doc for more details. So now you know that within the blocks we have lots of options for you to pick and choose. Let's go to elements next. So elements are individual elements inside of the blocks. So what we will look at now is how to compose a block from scratch and knowing the difference. So I'm going to just delete out these blocks and then we're going to build a block from scratch. Okay, so now I've deleted all content out apart from the header and the footer. Let's go and create a new block. Let's choose an empty block. This has got nothing in it. I'm going to drag this across into my location and release. Now, blocks are the holders for rows and elements within those rows. So blue is an indication of a block. You can see here. You'll also notice that if you click the block, you'll have options up here to go into settings. Now if I click settings, navigation will pull out from the right hand side, giving you more options to style that block and to change the settings. This is common to rows and elements and all of the items that you drop in. So the first thing we need to do to create this block is to go and choose a row. You have different row instances in here. For this, let's just choose 50-50. That's one row, two columns. Once I click that, you're going to notice that you have this row block now inside here, which is green. So we start with a blue block, then we add a row block, which is green, and then we add elements inside of these blocks. Now row blocks also have their own settings inside here, as you can see on the right hand side, and you can also clone and delete those rows out. Let's go and add an element inside this first column of this row. Inside here you can see all of our elements that we can add. Let's add a heading. So now if we click that heading, you can see this is in red. So we have blue, green for the row, and the element inside is red. Again, you have the option to go to settings, to clone and to delete this element. By clicking the settings on the right hand side, we can change options such as spacing, the outside of the row, such as padding, inside, and also the font style and font size, color, letter spacing, line height, background color, background image, transformation of the text, text shadow, and alignment. Let's change this to a blue. Let's make this size bigger. And let's change Open Sans to a different font. Instantly you can see these changes happen on screen. By clicking in here, double clicking, you have access to change the font to bold, italic, underline, even to change the font family or the size, although it's preferable to do it from the settings. Now I'm going to add an element on this side. Let's choose an image. I can upload an image or choose one from the library. And there we go. Now let's change the whole background block color by going into settings here and choosing a background color. Let's choose a light grey. We can also put an image behind the back, like so, and I can apply a background overlay behind it, which I can change the opacity of. This is the basic principle of how the page builder works. The page builder gives you the flexibility to create any kind of content. If I click this row, I'm going to align everything to the top. Let's go to settings and go to vertical alignment, top. Everything jumps to the top area. Notice also inside here, this row, you'll see this little divider. If I click it, my mouse over the middle, click and hold, I can drag this to a different size. I can also add elements underneath by clicking here. I can change the alignment inside here to left, and of course change all of the other settings inside here as well. We could add a button inside here, and you can choose a style for that button. Please notice how I'm always going to the settings to change the look and feel of my elements, rows and blocks. Let's go to design, Let's choose this one here, rounded button. Let's change the text. And you can choose an action to a button. Go to a link, submit a form, or even open a pop-up on the page. You can have subtext in here. And you have the option under Style to change the subtext size and the main title size. You can also change the background color of your button as well. This means you have complete control over the look and feel of buttons within the system. You can also choose normal width instead of full width, and you can apply a padding to these. If I take this to 8 and I increase the padding left and right to get the desired look and feel that you want for your page. Now remember, earlier I told you that you could clone them or duplicate the block. If I duplicate this block, it will completely add a duplication of the first block in here. I can also choose this, duplicate it, and I could drag it into the block. Remember, Zenler is a true drag and drop editor. I can also delete the block as well. Now, if you've spent time and created a block, you can also save the block out if you're on the Pro or Premium plan. Let's call this Custom 1 and click Save. Now this block has been saved, I could delete this block out. I could go into another page and add that block. Your custom block will be saved in Blocks. Scroll down to the bottom, Custom Blocks, and you click and drag that block into the page builder. This is the basics of how the page builder works within the site. So remember, blue block, containing block, then you have a row, and then you have elements inside of those rows. You can of course go into the row and delete a column out by right hand clicking and deleting the row. You could also move it left, up or down, or delete the entire row here. Let's delete this column. Click delete and it's gone. You can also add a row. So inside here, right hand click, add a new column, and we're back where we started. This gives you complete freedom inside of Zenler. The next thing we have here is pop-ups. So you can have a pop-up appear on your screen. You need to activate it by clicking pop-up and going to settings and activation here, and you can trigger the activation on people landing on your site, on exiting your site, on scrolling, or after a delay. You can also assign a button to activate your pop-up. Settings, Action, Open Pop-up. The pop-up design itself can be changed by going into the setting here and choosing one of the pre-made templates. You can also use forms within your page as well. If we go to here, you can see you can drop forms in. Please look at the support article for forms. Next, we have our drop down where we can choose pages from our site. So we can instantly click here and jump to that page. Or, as it's opened in a new tab, we could go into the site and choose the edit button from site. We can also undo changes we've made to the site. by using the undo here. And we can redo by clicking here. You can also enable a grid view to see all of the rows inside your site and columns as guides. You can view it on desktop, tablet and mobile to show how it displays. And you have full responsive control over different elements via the hide on selected items, desktop, tablet or mobile. Please check out the responsive support doc to understand it fully. Whenever you make a change on the site, you must save those changes before exiting. We can also preview the page by clicking the preview button here. Please note, as admin, as logged in admin, you'll be able to preview any page, whether it's published or whether it's for public or registered users. Next, we have a drop down that gives you access to page settings, to include CSS, header include scripts, or if you have a form, to enable capture. We have SEO settings for setting SEO up for your pages. Please check out the SEO support doc for this. We have version history and tracking code. Tracking code allows you to put things like JavaScript or analytics into your head, body or footer section. Drop the code in there and click add. This is on a page level. We also have version history, where you can actually just go back to previous versions by clicking here. You can delete out versions you don't want by clicking the recycle bin here. We also have editor preferences. If you do not want to apply your branding that you've set in branding, please check out support doc for branding, and you can turn it off here. And you can also turn off show confirmation for deletion. However, we advise you to keep this on. And that concludes how to use the page builder.